But we do a little flashback to the past, a little blast from the past.
Huh?
Reece Dainty, our champion, has been invited for a championship interview.
Oh.
I've gotta ask you, Faded. Since we've already went through with these reverse races, they're done now for the tier. What do we think of them? They put on a good performance each time. The good race.
Indeed.
I like them. I like them.
Indeed. As we get Reece in here, I'm gonna do a few chores. If I come back,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
try
fine.
and ask some questions.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Wow, 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 wow! What a race! Well, congrats to Reece, like I said once again. I mean, he deserved it. He was probably the best driver this season. The only one that could have said that is Beatnik, but not enough in the end to win the title. I mean, you look at this race today as well. A great race, great action-packed race. These drivers usually put on a great race, but there's a lot of bashing and banging that's not needed. But today we didn't have a lot of that. We had a lot of clean action. Credit to the drivers at the end. They deserved the credit. But yeah, just to look back at Reece's RPL career, he was one of the drivers who started the first ever, race. This is F2 I'm speaking about. So did Mythic. Reece didn't start the first ever Tier 1 race, but he streamed it. And, I can't be found to this day, but you look back and think, well, that's where it all started. 6 seasons in F2 until he won the title. Won the title in the 5th Tier 2 season. 5th season under the Tier 2 banner, I should say. He won the Tier 1 championship back in Season 9. And then after that, it did not seem like the usual Reece Dainty at the end of F123. And then even in F124, he took a step back. Even in Tier 2, he did. And it seemed like it was not really the way it would have been for Reece under the normal situation. Tier 2 at the end of the game cycle, Night Owl beat him to the title. And for Reece, there's a lot of questions. What's going on? Is he washed? There's a lot of questions that had to be asked. Because he's won an F2 title before. He's won a Tier 1 title. He's won a Tier 2 title before. He drops down to Tier 2. Not sure if Penguin beat him in the championship or not. I think it was close, but Penguin had more wins than Reece at the end of the season. And you look at... Actually, I think it was the same amount. It was both, too. Reece won Imola in Portugal. Penguin won Baku and Miami. And you look at that and say, something ain't right, because Reece has always been the more experienced driver, has always been the driver who can get it done. What's happening? Well, this season, that changed. So, yeah. He switched that plug, I guess you could say. I mean, he started out the season with a bang anyway. You look at Bahrain, he didn't have everything go his way, but after Bahrain, it was all in touch. He's only been his worst finish this season was 4th.
Hello.
And one of those reasons was due to the storage room. But now, here he is. Hello, Reece.
My audio is included, don't worry.
Your audio is included. All right, well, that's good. Well, great to have you.
Hi.
I get to say it again. RPL champion, this time, Tier 2. What are you feeling? And take me through today's race as well.
What am I feeling? Numbness. Positivity, yeah. Honest to God, that was one of the best fights I've had in a while. So, I mean,
I agree.
first thing I got to say is respect to Beatnik, because he's been tooth and nail with me all season. And let's be honest, he's drove like he deserves it. So, you've got to commend him because he's been
Yeah,
with me
absolutely.
all race. I'm not sure if you were there, but I mean, beating it was he was with me all race, and I just couldn't shake him as well. I don't think he could shake me, so it was just like a bit of a stalemate, swapping back and forth and covering defensive
fun.
lines and things. So, honest to God, it's beyond me. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I hope he did.
Yeah, and as for Beatnik, I want to talk about him as a championship rival as well, Reece, because you guys have been the main two out in front. You guys haven't won every race though. You guys have had probably half the races taken from you guys. You had Fusion win races, Blonde win races, Night Owl won one. So you look at you guys and say, well, you guys have been the most consistent all season, but you guys have not won all the races either. So as for you two, what would you say for you guys about this season, and what would you say about your battles with Beatnik? Because he is a former teammate of yours and will be a future teammate of yours again. But the respect between you two seems to be a bit more than a lot of other people here in this league specifically too.
Yeah, beating it. I mean, I've known Joe for quite a long time actually. So since this league's began, 2019, I've known this mate of mine, and he's honest to God, he's probably one of the best I've come up against in RPO. He's got the pace. He might talk down on himself a lot, but it doesn't stop him from pulling out an absolute wonder fizz on his day. So I mean, that's why I'm grateful I've got to fight him, because he's one of the only dudes you can have a comfortable fight with, and just agree if you get in an incident, you just don't report it, because
Right.
we've got that level of respect for each other, and I think it's been that way since we were F2 teammates in like 6 years ago now. So it's been a long time
Yeah.
knowing him, and being tooth and nail with him like this in this way it's good for the league. But I can understand his frustrations, and at times he's been hampered and things like that, because I mean, it's a game after all. We have fun and we enjoy ourselves, but yeah, cutting the waffling short, honest to God, respect to him. He's a decent bloke and he's an even better driver.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about this season alone, you look at the ups and downs you've had with losing races in the stewards room, even just winning races, but not always knowing if they're going to stay. You look at the ups and downs you've had. I mean, regardless of the battles, what has that changed for you as a driver? We know, season 9 you had moments that were low, but not many of them. And this season, season 9 of tier 1 I'm talking about, but this season, you've not finished below 4th, but you've had your rival always right there with you. Season 9, not to take anything away from you, but it was a little bit easier with the situation at hand with Skither missing races. But here, you guys have been at it tooth and nail with basically how it's been. So what have you learned from this season with all the highs and the lows, even the lows that haven't been that low?
Well, I think I've learned that Danger Date is back, baby. He is well and truly. But yeah, in all honesty, there's definitely been times this season where I just thought it's been a bit iffy, like the way I've been driving. I mean, I know I've got the 4th fastest car, so I'm already limited as it is. But when it comes to like situations like Silverstone, for example, when I led pretty much 17 laps of the race, and then the last one was where it counted, and that's where I unfortunately lost it. It did get to me, but I just thought comparing to like season 9, where I think it was season 9 Austria and turn 1. It was quite a long time ago now, but where I lost that to Stenner, and then it was a pretty heated battle. I think the thing I've learned from there is just to get my head down and just not give a toss, effectively. Sorry for my language, but it's
Fine.
basically, you've got to keep your head in the game. You've got to basically think about the long run and what's this going to gain for
Yeah.
me and how can I improve. And especially events like Silverstone this season, or if I go to Monza, for example. I mean, I came from 17th to 2nd because I did mess up my qualifying lap. That's what cost me P17 on the grid. But it was moments like that, Ryan, where I just fueled myself and I thought, you know what, maybe we can turn this around. And obviously every week I put the practice in, I know what I'm doing, and I've not felt this good on a game since 23, to be honest. Since 22. I've not felt confident, and with the the machinery I've got underneath me as well. I feel decent, you know. So I've got
Yeah.
to take my confidence. Obviously, I've got to keep. Big thing is I've got to remain grounded. Because
For sure.
yeah, I've got to stay humble with myself because I'm not I'm not that good. I'm not as good as Cookie. Let's put it that way. He's ripping up.
Yeah.
He's ripping up my
And together.
tier 1 right now. Yeah, and Scyther. Both the same.
Always
Both.
fun to watch them.
Yeah, they're both rapid this game it seems. But you know, I'm happy for them that I'm happy that the progress proof is in the progress. I'm getting something done. I've not felt this confident since F122, F123, where I had a decent run of form underneath me. But hopefully, when I move to tier 1 in 2 weeks' time, I can hopefully carry that momentum to Alpine.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. You're not going to tier 1 too soon, but definitely sooner than later. Something I want to read off to you. I'll mention tier 1 in a little bit for you. I'm going to keep you hostage for a while, though.
Oh,
if you don't
God.
mind, but
I haven't got too long.
not for this. Oh, that's fine. I won't keep you here too long.
Watch for the daily yapathon here, Ryan.
Yeah. So I gotta. Well, the encyclopedia's got to bring you some stats here to look at. So your last title in tier 2 was back in season 5. This is season 17. That's 12 seasons apart.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had moments in F2 where there were drivers who went on a long drought of not having titles, and some of that was due to not having the champions compete until end of season 11.
Yeah.
Luke had an 11 season stretch. We had Jack Miles have an 11 season stretch. And this one you had a 12 season stretch for. The only other person who's had a longer stretch in titles in terms of when they were won was over 4 years. It was Mally 41 when he won the most recent tier 3 title. You've not had a seriously long stretch in terms of all tiers for that, but you have for this tier. What is it like to win your second tier 2 title, your 4th across all RPL tiers, and the next time you win a race in any tier will be your 48th win? And I make that significant because that is the car number you run.
That's going to be is this my 46th?
This is your 47th.
47th.
Across all tiers.
Right. I got to make this one count then, because that's a special one, you know.
Next week. Right? You're here next week in tier 2. I
might just not win on purpose just to save it for tier 1.
Aw, come on. Brazil, right? Brazil. You have many memories around there.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe. Do us a favour and get Beatnik in here. He wants to be here. I want him.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Get my boy in.
But you were saying about. I wanted you to finish about what was it? The titles. This is your second in tier 2. I mean, first since season 5, and this is your 4th across all tiers.
Yeah.
So what do you take of that? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. It's just I didn't think when I joined RPL 6 years ago that I'd be getting 4 titles across 3 different tiers, but it's something. So gotta be happy with it. So what's going on here?
Heard a notification. Good evening, Beatnik. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
You included your audio, Joe?
Yeah. Included.
Good man.
I am gonna finish up with Reece before I get to you. But before I do finish up with Reece, I just want to say, congratulations on claiming and confirming 2nd place in the championship, and a very respectable effort this season with your battles with Reece, and not just your battles with Reece, but your battles with others, and your season as a whole. It may not be over, but the race for the title is, and I do want to commend you for that.
Thank you. I love being the first loser. It's very comforting.
Oh, don't say that, bro.
So Reece, 2 more questions I have for you, and then I'll let Faded ask some, and then we'll go to Beatnik, of course, when he's done. But maybe I'll do 3. Anyways, your title for this season in tier 2 means you join a small list, but a very legendary one with some RPL elites like Owen, Jack, George, and now yourself on that list for drivers to win multiple tier 2 titles. That list is very short, but it is definitely a legendary one when you look at the greats of tier 2. What would you say joining that list? Anything that you would think comes to mind?
Not much. Not much, to be honest. I'm more or less looking at who's going to be the next one, because inevitably people are just going to forget about it.
That's fair.
I'm more or less I'm more or less focused on Joe, to be honest, because this guy deserves one. He's drove like he wants one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I reckon.
I agree.
I reckon. I mean, he's locked down a tier 1 drive now, hasn't he? Haven't you? Is it Red Bull? This season?
For this season, yes. For this season, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if he locked down a tier 2 contract,
14.
it would be his, undeniably. I mean,
Just saying.
going Red Bull as well, that's going to be even more competition when I get there, so we're just going to have the same fun all over again, despite who loses and who wins. It don't really matter at the end of the day.
Well, and speaking of tier 1, you said you're going to Alpine. Reece, you might deserve better, you might not, some would argue, but what do you think is going to happen come tier 1 time, and what are you expecting? What are the expectations for yourself?
My expectations, I've got to say, Ryan, probably I'm going to stay grounded at first. So, I mean, I know I'm jumping into I think it's the 7th slowest car on average. I think.
Yeah, it's around there.
My first race back Spa, I'm pretty sure. So, I think the Alpine will be decent at Spa, so you could see me doing something alright, something decent. I don't know, but I think to begin with, I'm just going to get back into the groove, because you've got to think tier 2 is completely different ballpark to tier 1. Like the drivers I've just come up against in tier 2, like Joe, like Fusion, like Blonde, like Jensen in the Ferrari, yeah, you've got to think these guys are in a class of their own, but then you've got to think as you go tier 1, there's potential esports drivers that have got pace. You've got your Cypher, you've got your Cookie, you've got your Alex Norris, you've got your Andrea, you've got those characters.
So many.
Yeah, you've got big characters, big names. So I think at first, even if I do poorly, I am expecting to do terrible. But in the long run, I'm seeing a big form of pace from 22, should I say, or 23. So I'm happy with that.
So I've got to ask the last set of questions before I give it over to Faded Reece, but I want to know from this season alone so far. I know we got one more round in Brazil, but of the 9 races so far, I want to know your favorite moment, least favorite moment, favorite race, least favorite race, and your favorite battle.
Favorite moment, did you say?
Yes, favorite moment being the first one. Yep.
Favorite moment, I'd say. It would have been Silverstone if I had won. But I mean, I'd say Monza. Yeah, I'd say Spa actually. Spa was probably my best moment, because I can't tell if I made a decent decision by staying out the last lap before the safety car went in, where literally everybody behind me fucking pit, and as soon as I saw that I was like, there's no way they're gonna get me, right? And then within half a lap after it went in, they were on my rear. But I'd say that's my best moment. What's the next one?
Least favorite moment?
Least favourite today.
Why?
I feel bad because
It's a great battle.
Yeah, but I had a great battle with Joe, but the fact he's probably down now that I've beat him. He probably wanted it, so I feel bad.
Bruh.
Okay, so
being
you're
nice.
You're
not being a dick. Trust me.
Mr. Nice Guy here. So favorite battle?
Favorite battle today? Because
okay, that's fair.
There's nothing like it. Me and Joe, I think it was like pretty much the entire race, lap 15 onwards.
Yeah. And then just favorite race and least favorite race this season for you?
Favorite race, I'd say Spa. Again, well, actually,
okay.
I'll say favorite race.
Well, you're thinking of Phoenix, so you can't say Spa then.
Spa angers me.
Favorite race.
I can feel it through the mic.
Favorite race, I'll say probably Baku.
That's fair. You had a good battle with Maxwell there and Fusion.
And worst race, did you say, last one?
Yeah, your least favorite one. What race do you think? F this shit.
Bahrain. Bahrain was...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Bahrain. I was going to say Monaco,
Yeah.
but... You know what happened afterwards.
Yeah, I mean
so I'll say
Monaco,
Bahrain.
you drove great, but we had. Yeah, we won't speak of Monaco.
That's it.
Bahrain is just too quiet for you. Yeah. Well, thank you. Congrats on winning the championship. Faded. Do you have any questions? Congrats on winning the race as well. Can't forget about that.
I do. I have just 2 questions though. For Reece, what would you say? What is one thing you admire about Phoenix driving?
One thing I admire about Phoenix driving, did you say?
Like he's 8 hours behind and still can keep up.
Oh. Set of defenders. And a mic. I'd say best thing about, I mean, it's everything, isn't it? It's just, he drives solid. He drives like he can respect you. You know, he gives you space if you send one. Equally, the same has to happen back. And it flows well. And his driving, especially his defensive driving, has to be studied. Because if you watch that stream today, it took me how many laps to get past him?
Enough.
Yeah, enough. That says it. That's all you need to know. It's enough.
I mean, the overtakes were great to watch.
I try keeping it clean because there's something I have in
You
mind
guys did,
between me and Beatnik that I don't have in mind with everyone else because I know how decent he is as a mate. Like being honest, bro. I wouldn't race you the same I would someone else.
Yeah.
I think you're a great bloke, even better driver. So yeah, bro.
I appreciate that one.
GG today.
I'm gonna throw my other question out the window, and that'll be that.
All right.
So that's my only question I have.
Oh, decent.
Dangerous Dainty. Dainty that delivered.
Danger Dainty strikes again.
Dickhead Dainty. I don't know what you want us to call you, but
Dickhead
either
Dainty.
way. Correct.
Wow.
Hey, I'm down for that one.
What?
See?
Well, I'm used to 2v1s. Bring it.
Whoa.
Spa. No, but in all honesty, congrats again. Well deserved. Not just the race, but the title. And also, best of luck in Tier 1. Beatnik, I gotta
Thank
go to
you.
you now. We can't forget about
I'm
you.
gonna have to go now, lads. So
It's okay.
See you
GG's,
whenever.
Reece. Congratulations.
Thank
Well
you,
deserved.
Joe. GG. Well done today. I'll see you
Thank
boys
you.
next week.
See ya.
Bye, Reece.